Hey, Shalom, Yesha Allah,
Shalom.
brother Ezekiel,
I'm Brother Lee.
and we here today. We're going to deal with the lesson on the whole duty of men. But before, anyways, we're getting into it. Before we go in, we got to pull in some scriptures first. But we're going to give the understanding what the whole duty of men is, Most High willing. So, let's go to Ecclesiastes. In chapter 12 and verse 13. So this is what we need to do in order to do this walk, and what we need to come forth and bring out for the heavenly Abba through the beloved Son, through the Ruach Kodesh, or Wakwadash Ruach, however you say it, Holy Spirit. And to give this understanding before when we step in doing these walks and things for the Most High. Once we get woken up and things, we have a lot of things we got to do. That's why when Christ said, take up thy cross with me and walk with me and things like that, it's talking about the challenges, the burdens, the pain, the temptation, all that stuff is going to come with it when you're doing this stuff. So you got to stay strong. You got to keep on walking. Okay. So this is where it goes down to saying this is what it's going to be. So go ahead, verse 13.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
For this is the whole duty of man. So we need to hear the whole conclusion of the whole matter. Okay? These are teachings right here. These are principles right here that we need to do while we're doing this walk. Okay? You have to have this inside you. This is a strict principle. Okay? That we need to hear everything. The whole conclusion before we start talking, before we start doing things. You need to get learnt up, so forth and so on, before you could get out there and start judging according to the Most High, according to the laws of righteous judgment. Okay? But it says, once again, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of men. Read verse 14.
For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So this is why Christ was saying, be meek, be in meekness, be in humbleness, when you're doing this walk and things, because everything that you're doing, everything you're saying, that you're not saying, everything that you do, that you don't do, it's all being recorded.
Yeah,
okay?
And it's supposed to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the reward if it's not?
Right. So we have to bring this on out, and we have to be mindful of what we're saying and what we're doing out here and things. And the Most High will have a way of humbling you down in an instant. And I know some of us, we got passion, and we got that fire to come on out, but you got to learn how to contain it. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how much heat to put out. You know what I'm saying? Right. So let's jump to so we understand that this is what we need to do. Okay, so let's go to Isaiah 58 and 1. So we have understanding of this, but there's a warning with this, because everybody uses this in Israel, even when you're out there street teaching and stuff. And Isaiah 58 and 1, let us hear cry out loud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Hold on a second. There's a responsibility that comes with that. Okay, so go ahead and read that out.
Isaiah 58.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get there. My bad.
That was before you.
All right, one moment. Oops. All right. Go ahead, King.
All right. Isaiah 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
In the house of Jacob their sins. So you're supposed to cry out loud. Spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people, the Most High's people, their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. So there's a warning with this. Okay, how can you go out and blow the trumpet if you don't know how to tune it and put out the tune, the distinct sound that preps everybody for war or gets them ready for the Most High before he sends his son down, our beloved brother? How are you going to go out there and show the people their sins and warn them when you don't even know how to judge their sins righteously, correctly, and you're not even studied up in the laws? How can you do that? You gotta, the saying, you gotta crawl before you walk. You gotta be created before you could crawl. You have to be thought of before you could be created. So doing this, you can't just hop from A to Z and try to go out here and try to give this understanding to people, and you're not even nowhere near learned up. So you're going to be pointing stuff at people, calling them certain things, or trying to say they're sinning, and you ain't even fitting the right law for their sin. You're not fitting the right judgment for their crime. So then you actually is no better than the judges that's in the system today, who's corrupt. And it's crazy. A lot of our people don't even stop to look at that. They don't even stop to think about those things. So how can you go out there and blow the trumpet and you ain't giving the right call for the people? You giving out a sound that's getting everybody ready for dinner when you got millions of armies coming around to us. Now everybody's blowing the trumpet and everybody's getting ready to have a feast and stuff. You ain't ready them for war because why? You're not learnt up. You don't even have the right tunes to do so. So how can you cry out loud? And how can you spare not? How can you do those things if you're not even learnt up in these laws? Oh, snaps. Here goes Ezekiel again. He talking about laws. He just did 16 videos on the law, and he's still talking about the law.
Hey, I'm getting cut from this too right now because I was talking yesterday, and I was going over people's heads. They didn't even understand what I was talking about because I'm not ready.
And this is the thing. It's like, you guys got to really tune it down. You have to bring it back in. You need to sit down and get some understanding before you can even do any of those things. And trust me, I've been in those positions where I've seen. I was actually in a couple positions where you didn't even have righteous judgment. And the only reason why people believed in you or agreed with you is because you had a spotlight and some name on YouTube amongst Israel. That's why. And this is not a respecter of persons and things like that. And it's like, what's going on? And you guys respect these individuals left and right that's giving you these certain these so-called doctrines and these lessons that's not even giving you the full understanding. They're not even bringing out the laws. They don't even teach none of the laws. So how are you going to call yourself a judge? How are you going to sit there and think or even have the thought of thinking you're one of the 144,000 to sit there and say, well, I'm going to help govern the kingdom when Yahushua or Yeshua comes back or Jesus? What makes you think you're able to do that? Because you gave yourself a man-made title and you go out in the streets and you yell? Dude, you guys got another thing coming, man. This is ridiculous, man. And as a matter of fact, read that one more time. Isaiah 58:1.
Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
So let's get a law. Let's understand precept. Precept means commandment. It means law. Let's go to the law, what this is talking about. Let's precept this where it says to go back, which is the law. Give me Leviticus 19 and verse 15. Because this is getting out of control.
19.
And I'm seeing too much stuff going on amongst our people. And everybody say, "Oh, you should worry about your own business. Don't worry about what they doing. Worry about what you doing and stuff." How can I worry about stuff when your followers are the ones coming up to me talking about this, that, and the other, and ain't spoke not one law? So your followers is making it my business. This ain't your business. This is the Father's business. I'm trying to be one with the Father, Christ, and the Holy Spirit. And you guys are sitting here diverting everybody, dividing everybody. Because you don't want people, you give the scriptures on saying, don't worry about what they're doing, worry about your own work and things like that. Then where's the love for your own people then if you ain't worried about what they doing? If you see your brother over there sinning and stuff, why won't you say anything? How come you're not blowing the trumpet? Because maybe you don't know what law they're breaking. Because you're not taught. You don't even know the basics. The whole commandment, or excuse me, the covenant 101, which is what? A promise that was made with us to do what? Follow the Most High God and keep his what? His commandments, his laws, his statutes. And you guys ain't even doing that.
I'm just getting sliced up right now. Yeah.
So it's just,
all praise to the Most High.
I'm trying to, and this is the hurting part, because you guys don't even stop to think all the stuff that you deem that you think you're right in doing and stuff. You're actually hurting the Most High's feelings. You're doing 10 times worse than what the Pharisees probably did back during when Christ was around with the Sadducees. So it's like, do you even, like, seriously, do you guys ever stop and think and wonder, to draw up in your mind what the Father may be doing up there, feelings being hurt and stuff because he put his trust in you guys to sit here to do the things that you're supposed to do. And he's giving you all this love and mercy and time, grace. Time is grace. Grace is time. To sit here and do right and correct your mistakes. Fully come out. Don't ease it in and stuff like that. Tell them straightforward. Because the people following you, they idolizing you. And some say, "Oh, well, the Ak is hating." I'm not hating. I'm not salty. I can care less about that position stuff. But I'm going to remind our people and yourselves, if you're watching this, that you need to correct yourself and you need to tell these people straightforward. Start teaching those laws. But let's see what the law says about before going out here blowing that trumpet. Okay, go ahead.
Leviticus 19 and 15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
See that? No respecter of persons. So we understand in Isaiah 58:1, it says, "Spare not." But how are you not sparing not, and you don't even fit the right, what's the word I'm looking for? The right action with the crime. How can you judge the right, do the righteous judgment with the crime? How can you fit it? You can't do it because you don't know how to judge. And you don't know how to blow the trumpet in order to warn the people. This is the whole duty of men. Israel, this is what you're supposed to be doing. But you guys don't do that. Majority of you guys don't. I'm not going to say all, but majority. And you teaching the next person, and the next person, and the next person, and the next person to do the same thing. A lot of you guys shouldn't even be out there trying to street teach and things like that when you out there, cussing out individuals and things like that, and carrying on, giving the wrong scriptures and things like that, and not even backing it up with the law. Your whole duty is this right here. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're supposed to do. That's why Christ said, "Be a fisher of men." But instead, you scaring away all the fish. You ain't reeling them in. You ain't baiting them, right? Because they don't want to take the bait. The bait is those laws.
Mm. And I just read something earlier today, Luke 16 and 15. And
right.
Then he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but God knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of God.
See? Man, dude. This is what I'm saying. It's like you want to twist the laws and things like that. You don't have that experience. You need the experience before you could go out there and do these things. Otherwise, you're going to end up dying. You're going to end up making other people die, meaning turn them away from the truth, not want to deal with it, cause more division. I'm only dealing with him because he's part of my camp, because he's wearing my colors, because I say Yeshaya, he says Yahweh. I say Ahiah, he says Yahweh, he says Yahuwah, and all this and that and the other. And you guys can't even come to the one agreement, the whole duty of men, which is what? We agree, we worship and do the sayings, the will of the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God. We do believe in the Son, the beloved Son, the Messiah of the Most High, which even non-Messianic brothers do because they still believe in the Messiah is coming. God. So there's no such thing as non-Messianic or Messianic. So 3, we believe in doing the will of the Most High, which is what? Keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. And 4, we believe we Israel, the real Hebrews of the Bible.
And that's undeniable.
So we all have 4 things we all come together on. But you don't want to do it because you want to cause more diversity and stuff. And you're not carrying out the order of the whole duty of men. But let's see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about how can you go out there with no experience and stuff. And how can you bring this forth in things if you ain't even well learned in the scriptures? I mean, in the laws. I'm not going to say scriptures because when you say scriptures, you think of the whole book. No, yeah. Pinpointing the laws. And applying it to self first before you could go apply it to another individual. What did that scripture say in the New Testament? Pluck out the wood out of your own eye before trying to do others. But let's go to the Apocrypha. It's like, whoa, the Ak using the Apocrypha. I haven't heard this in a minute. Let's go to here. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 34, and read verse 8 down to 11.
Ecclesiasticus 34 and 8.
Sirach, say Sirach.
The law shall be found perfect without lies.
Without lies. The law shall be found perfect without lies. All the laws, no cherry picking, no none of this stuff. They're all without lies. I said this in the videos, in the law videos before. That's Psalms 19 and 7 through 14. They're perfect. It's men that's creating those lies. So they're not doing the whole duty. But keep reading.
And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth.
And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. How do you gain wisdom? Is when you know those laws. You could go out here and you could see the laws be incorporated to our people that it is sinning. Now you have the tune, you have the trumpet now. Now you can start blowing it without spear or not. I don't want to hear that. No, what are you doing? You shouting and stuff. No, it's that sin that you're dealing with. So now you can apply it to them and things. But keep reading.
He that hath no experience knoweth little.
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
Oh, wait. No.
Yeah, verse 9. Yeah.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
A man that hath traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. A man that has traveled knoweth many things, and he that has much experience will declare wisdom. This is another thing. Men that's traveling, okay? Now, on a carnal level, yes, you go outside this country, you learn a whole lot than what they feed you on the TV. Yeah, it's way different.
Trust me, I've been outside the so-called states. Okay, I've been to Paris, I've been to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Saudi Arabia. There, I've been to
Korea.
Canada. You know, name all the places you've been.
Korea. I've been to Iraq. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Puerto Rico.
Hawaii doesn't count.
Well, Hawaii kind of counts.
That's a state still.
But it's an island.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But you catching the drift though. So we've seen things that all our people haven't seen, and also what they promote on TV and stuff. That's not true. So with that being said, on a carnal level, you gain a lot of wisdom when you travel. But guess what? On a spiritual level, your eyes hasn't traveled enough in the laws. So you don't have any wisdom if you don't even know those laws. Your eyes haven't traveled. It hasn't seen a lot of things yet because you're rejecting those laws. So how can you have this wisdom and give it out to all the other people by warning them and blowing the trumpet and doing the whole duty of the Most High? How can you do that? That makes no sense. Keep reading, okay?
A man that hath travelled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. He that hath no experience knoweth little.
Knoweth little. He that has no experience knoweth little. So, if you woken up to the truth, right? And you all of a sudden want to just jump from A to Z, and you want to get out here and go street teach and whatever the case may be and stuff, and have no understanding, how are you going to warn the people? How are you going to get them to turn from their wicked ways, if you can't pinpoint a law of what they're doing? How can you even judge righteously? You don't know nothing. You need to stay in your own lane and get seasoned first. And the only way you're going to get seasoned, ladies and gentlemen, is through those laws, statutes, and commandments first, before any of the other parts of the Bible. Because what happens is, this is what you guys do. You read all the other parts of the Bible, from the New Testament to somewhat in the Tanakh, and then back and very little in the law. And what happens? You come out with emotions. That's exactly what happens. Your emotion comes first, and then you want to come with law. Or not even with law at all. Just whatever you deem what makes you feel good and things like that. You do it backwards. So what you have to do is get learnt up experience first. Get these laws, statutes, and commandments in your membrane. Get it in there. So you can sit here and show folks like, dang, hey brother, you know, brother, you can't be touching the graves and stuff. Otherwise, you're going to be unclean, and you need hyssop oil and things like that, and wash yourself on the third day, and then rewash yourself again with hyssop oil and water on the seventh day on the Shabbat, so you can be called deemed clean. Well, what are you talking about? Where's that at in the Bible? Oh, that's in Leviticus such and such and things like that. It's a law. But why I'm coming out kind of passionate, a little angry about the stuff, is because this is what our people do. I'm not Mr. Know-it-all. I just know what I study, what I dwell on, what I meditate on, and things like that. How I could sit here and see with eyes that other people don't have. Not to boast or anything. I can see this unfold, the patterns in people, the patterns of all the things that we're doing, including self. That's why sometimes when I see somebody doing something and I know I was sinning in that, and I'm still dealing with that or something like that, I'll never speak on that. I can't speak on that. Because why? That would then make me a hypocrite. So then I can't judge righteously according to that. But this is why we're trying to bring this out. Keep reading though. Was that verse?
Verse 10.
Okay, go ahead.
But he that hath traveled is full of a prudence. When I traveled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express. I was oftentimes in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things.
See that? Because of these things, he was delivered from death, because he knew what was going on. So a lot of times when you guys go out there and y'all be street teaching. Now I see why you have 10, 12 cats out there standing on the street corner and stuff instead of just going by the twos. Like like Moses and Aaron. Like what Christ even told us what to do, to go out there by the twos. You go out there so deep and you're making it look like this is a thing to sit here to come against people. Well, we doing the whole duty for the Most High. This is what we doing in things. And you scaring away the fish. You looking like a gang.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
We already look scary enough as it is already. Heck, why you think they've been trying to tell us to shave? Cut this off. Mend this down some. Because they don't want that scary look.
That's your main.
They don't want that. The other nations can't, they literally are scared of. And you probably, well, I ain't going to put all the secrets out there with, I don't even want them knowing a lot of stuff. But anyways, but this is what's going on, man. So these things you need to do according to what the laws say, what the Most High said, what Christ said through the Holy Spirit and things. You go out there by the twos, you're good. But a lot of y'all go out there is because you're scared and you're afraid of. That's why you have 10, 15 cats out there and stuff. And this is not to the ones that don't stand out there with that many individuals and stuff. So, don't get in your chest about this.
You're good.
Okay? You good. I'm speaking on the ones that do. You don't need that many cats. That means check your mouth. Otherwise, you're going to experience death. But with that being said, since your eyes was traveling in the laws, you gained wisdom. You gained experience. So therefore, you know how to come out at people. You know how to be in meekness and humbleness. Now you well seasoned with that. And then during the times, while you're doing it, you get more and more and more experience because things people say certain things to you that you never probably even knowledge or studied on, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? If people feel like they got an upper hand on you or something, or they want to debate you and stuff and things like that, so what? Let them be like that. It doesn't matter. Obviously, people ain't coming out there to learn. They coming out there to debate with you. That's why I don't do debates. Either you believe or you don't. Now, I have conversations and I have, things with other brothers and sisters on the phone or in person and things like that. And sometimes we may have a misunderstanding about something. That's fine. We'll go into the scriptures. But my whole thing is, what does the law say? Not what the scripture says. What does the law say? That's my whole answer to anybody when it comes down to doctrines or any parts of the scriptures. Because Christ always went back there. Okay? So, if we can't bring this out, then how can we fulfill this by teaching our people who they really are? And getting them to understand who's been lying on us. Yeah. Give me Revelations 2 and verse 7 through 9. Please,
No problem.
I appreciate it, man.
We'll start off.
Yep, go ahead.
Revelations chapter 2, verse 7. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
Hold it right there. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say unto the churches. The churches is the people. It's you.
Mm-hmm.
Let hear what the Spirit is saying right here.
Your body is your temple.
The laws is going to give that to you. That's the Ruach Kodesh or the Walk Kodash for Walk, however you pronounce the Holy Spirit. She'll give that understanding to you because you seeking the Father. Now you seeking to do the whole duty of men, but it comes in a principal order. Okay? Go ahead.
To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God.
So, to overcome everything that's going on in this world, not to be of this world, not to get into these fire dances with Satan and things, to overcome, you will get to eat from that tree of life.
And it's hard.
So how can you even try to eat from the tree of life and you don't even have no knowledge of even knowing how or even going there to eat if you don't know those laws? I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not reading half of this book and think that I got it all. I'm not going to read the Hamashiach's writings and his teachings and think I got it all. Everything that Yeshua came out and said was always reverting it back to the law. Like he always says, as it is written, as it is written, as it is written. All the parables go back to the law. And it's mixed with some of the stuff in the Tanakh with the prophets. The experience, the teachings that happen, why you shouldn't do those things, to give you warning present before you came onto this earth. You got the instruction book that's going to teach you how to overcome those things and how to guide you so you have ears to hear and eyes to see and to speak with wisdom. This is what we have to do, but keep reading that.
And unto the angel of the church in Smyrna, write, these things which saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
See that? So how can you even sit here and blow the trumpet, meaning teach our people that they're the real Jews and things like that, and that the so-called Khazarians, the ones who call themselves Jewish, are the fake ones? How can you even do that? And you don't even have, once again, these laws to sit there and teach the people. First, they need to understand, like, yo, I'm sinning and stuff. They may not want to know what their culture is. They may still want to be called African American, Negro, nigger, black. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're comfortable being called that. But if you can show them with the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the laws, then that might just reel them in. Like, hey, man, hey, ain't nobody gave a crap about me. Why are you telling me this stuff, man? You hitting it right on the point. Where's this coming from? You know what I'm saying? Then you get to explaining them about the Most High, showing him he taught me through the laws and things. We shouldn't be doing these things. But doesn't it say but doesn't the Bible talk? It's only talking about the Jewish people, the Israelites. Now he's asking, or she's asking questions that's opening more up to her now, or him. Now you could rule it in and say, our culture, we are the Israelites. Now you have the knowledge and the wisdom and understanding through the laws from the Most High, through Christ and the Holy Spirit. Now you could give them the other parts and stuff. Now you can feed them the solid foods and things like that. But once again, if you can't do that, why are you jumping from A to Z and trying to get out here and try to do the work, and you can't even judge accordingly to our people and tell them about their sins when you don't even know the iniquity that they're doing, transgression of the laws. You don't even have the laws to tell them which one they're transgressing or transgressing. I said it right. Anyways, let's go to Hosea 4 and 6. You know what? Before we go to Hosea 4 and 6, no. Go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And then 14, 7 and 6, and we'll go to 14 and 2. Because now, once you have done that, you can open this up to the people.
You said Deuteronomy 7 and 6?
Yes, sir.
That's good, because I was searching for Hosea.
Yeah. You good, I got you. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm feeling the edge. I'm getting cut up as well. I want to get out there and I want to do some stuff, but man, I need a lot.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So now, since you well seasoned, you have the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the law, statute, commandments, and these people, you're showing them their transgressions and things like that, and you're judging accordingly, and people want to turn away from that and come back onto the Most High because you're set up as a watchman, the title of a watchman. Now they're asking the question, well, who is the real Israelites? Now you can show and prove to them, you are God's chosen people. They don't even know nothing about the Bible, but scientifically, just in the modern day or carnal level, they know we already know we're special people. We have talents and abilities that nobody has, no other nation out there has.
No.
Period. So now they can start understanding. Now you helping them. Now you're reeling them in. You're bringing them in. You're being the fisher of men and things like that. Go to Deuteronomy 14:2. What's it?
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2. Thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a particular people unto himself, peculiar people unto himself, above all nations that are upon the earth.
So now we have now you're teaching our people to have thorough understanding that we are the real Israelites. That's why we are above all other nations. But they don't feel above all other nations because they don't know who they are.
Yeah.
They don't know what's right and what's wrong according to the Most High God, not to self or man's eyes. Okay? So now you're breaking this all the way into them and giving them that understanding. Now they're finding out their culture, that this is them. Now they're seeing how important it is, what they need to be doing for the Most High God. Because he created us to serve him, to be submissive to him. Israel. Okay? So-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, Polynesians, some of y'all may disagree with me. I don't care, whatever. I go by the spirit and things like that. So anyways, I mean, not just for the fact that, well, the skin doesn't matter. The skin, the color doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. We got the 12 tribe chart and things like that. True indeed. I'm not denouncing that. I'm not knocking that down. I'm going off by the spirit because you have dark-skinned and light-skinned so-called Israelites that ain't Israel. Ain't claiming to be. So you got to watch out for that as well. You know what I'm saying? But the 12 tribes chart, it gives a little indication of who's what and things like that. But I only agree with certain stuff to a certain extent. But I don't get into the genealogy debates and things like that, or those type of debates and stuff. I just go by the spirit. Listen, if they want to hear it, they want to listen, fine. You know what I'm saying? But well, then somebody's going to say, well, so you're going to say that a white man is Israel and things like that. I didn't say that. I just said I'm going by the spirit. Okay? I know, I believe 100% without a shadow of a doubt that I'm Israel. Okay?
I'm
so
good.
I ain't worried about that. But not to get all mixed up into all that stuff. But anyways, go to Deuteronomy 26 and verse 15 and read through 19. So now they understand that they're Israel, or they could get more thorough understanding that God does have a favoritism above all the children of Adam and Eve, whether it is Israelites or other nations and things like that. But the fact of the matter that he chose Israel to be above all other nations. So we do have that aboveness, but we don't feel like that right now because we being cursed with certain things, and we still ain't keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments. But we're waking up and we're doing the best of our ability to get up there and things, so we could be back on top again. And we got a lot of stuff that's coming against us, this world and all these other nations. But anyways, go ahead.
Deuteronomy 26 and verse 15. Look down from thy holy habitation from heaven, and bless thy people Israel, and the land which thou hast given us, as thou swearest unto our fathers, a land that floweth with milk and honey.
So now they can understand, since they know that they're Israel now they understand that we actually have a homeland that we could go to. Not just, we came off the slave ships or the by Atlantic slave trade and, on the west coast, the ivory west coast of Africa, and things like that. and we landed here in America, and then the Caribbeans and South America and stuff. No, you actually got a homeland that you belong to. You see how this is going? It's a tune. So you have to blow this trumpet correctly. Otherwise, nobody's going to be ready. Okay? As a watchman, we're going to get into that in 1 second. But keep reading.
This day the Lord thy God hath commanded thee to do these statutes and judgments. Thou shalt therefore keep them, and do them with all thine heart, and with all thy soul. Thou hast avouched the Lord this day to be thy God, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice. And the Lord hath avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people, as he hath promised thee, and thou shouldest keep all his commandments, and to make thee high above all nations which he hath made, in praise, and in name, and in honor, and that thou mayest be an holy people unto the Lord thy God, as he hath spoken.
See that? See how important it is the Most High keeps telling you the law, statute, and commandments? So you going out there screaming that you're Israel and we above all other nations and things like that, and you ain't even judging according to the laws? You don't even know the laws? You still got curses on you. And you're going to cause more curses to come on everybody else, especially who you teach out there, because you ain't learned. That's what we're trying to explain here and everything. Every time. Sit back and listen. Now, I barely do a lot of this. I be sitting back just in the cut, just listening. That's it. But then when it's time for me to speak, best believe I'm going to speak. You see? But now you taught these individuals, you reeled them in. Now you understand who they are. Now they have this understanding. Now they have this knowledge and wisdom and understanding of who they are, who their God is, who the Hamashiach is, who the Holy Spirit is, and who all these other nations are, what they trying to do to us. But you know what? Since you ain't well learned in them laws, you're going to cause this. Go to Hosea 4 and 6 now.
Hosea.
Let me get there. My bad. Sorry.
It's the little things that make me happy.
Man. Folks over here. 4 and 6. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hosea 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
So check this. So you sit here and you're not even knowing the law, statute, and commandments. You teach out here only the Tanakh, the prophets, prophecies, and what Christ says, but you don't even give no precepts, which is the laws. You have none of that. So not only are you destroyed for the lack of knowledge, you are destroying the rest of the nation for the lack of knowledge. And not just the nation, the whole world. Psalms 82 and 6, ye are gods, which the word God is no word in Hebrew for God. It's talking about you're the judges. And we're going to get that in 1 second. But read that again.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
Has forgotten what?
The law of thy God.
Has forgotten the law of thy God.
That's heavy.
I will also forget thy children.
That's heavy.
Now, let's precept that where he says he's going to forget our children. Go to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Or, yeah, 3 or 4. I think it's 3 or 4. The law.
Chapter what? Chapter 3?
No, Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. We'll start at.
All right, Exodus chapter 20, verse 5.
So basically it's saying about the idols and worshiping other guys and not putting the Most High God first before anything and only worshiping him and stuff. I'm just jumping straight to the point. Verse 5.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
You see that? So the Most High just said back in Hosea 4 and 6 that he will not, let me get it, 4 and 6, no, just stay right there. It says, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou should be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Why? Because you don't know the laws. You're not teaching the laws to your children. Therefore, he's not going to have no remembrance of you or your children. So you continue to keep the curse going nonstop because you're not seasoned in the laws. And you're going out here and teaching everybody else, and you created a name for yourself, and you're teaching everybody because everybody gives you power that's not even came from the Most High, but coming from the people because they like you. They respect you. When the Most High said be no respecter of person when it comes to dealing with his word. And you're not giving any laws at all. You're not precepting that. And I'm going to do a lesson on what a precept is. I mean, basically I'm saying it, but I'm going to give every little single jot and tittle of what a precept is. So this goes into your brains, whoever is watching this. So when you come out here and you talk with your other brothers and sisters, you can't be led astray. You know they've been taught a doctrine. You can see it right away. It's a pattern. Okay? But let's jump to let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and of course verse 1 through 2. So we're showing and prove everything we're doing here so we can get this understanding of what needs to be done as far as what's the whole duty of men. Okay? 28 and verse 1 through 2.
All right, Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
See that? So, right. Oh, keep going. I'm sorry.
And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
See that? Now you teaching these individuals who didn't know who their God was, didn't know who the Hamashiach was, didn't know who the Holy Spirit was, didn't know any law, statute, and commandment, what the will of the Father is, didn't know that there was even Israel and stuff. Now they starting to see all these things, all in the order that you should be doing as a watchman, blowing the trumpet and warning our people and the rest of the world. But let's go to verse 14. Or excuse me, verse 15.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
You see that? Key words in there. Observe. To do all his commandments. Not just the 10. Every single one of them. That's what you're supposed to do as the whole duty of men, as a watchman. The Most High kept telling you. Even Christ kept telling you. If you want eternal life, keep the commandments. Those that do the will of my Father is my brother, my sister, and my mother. That's what you need to be doing. But we're missing the little things because you're so trapped up in the entertainment. The whole spotlight view. The big name. All these things you're trapped up in. The hype. That's what you're trapped up in. And the hype is a stumbling block.
Yep.
And the people, the stumbling block, are the people for you, and you're the stumbling block for the people. Because you pedestal each other. If the people don't pedestal you, you have no name. If you don't pedestal the people, you have no followers. You have no name. You have nothing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of your blessings don't even come from the Most High. It comes from them. And I'm talking about money, fame, all that stuff. Stuff that Christ warned you not to be getting entwined with.
And I could be having tons of money right now.
Even Even Christ, you know the crazy part is, I bet anything, if the Hamashiach was here, right, and we got all this technology and stuff, I guarantee you probably wouldn't even see not one video, not one clip of anything that he's doing, of healing, teaching, none of that. The only way you would hear from that man and from the Mashiach to understand that he was here and he was doing the work and things like that was just word from mouth, from individual who saw with their physical eyes what that man has done. Not broadcasting out here on the whole social media and things. Well, it was back then, they didn't have that stuff. Guess what? I'm going to tell you what Christ said. Every time that he healed somebody and did some miracle, what was the thing that he told the people not to go do? Don't tell nobody what I've done. He's giving you, these are little principles that he's telling you what you should not be doing. And you doing it vice versa. But wait a second, Ak, you putting videos out here and things like that, you doing the same thing and stuff. First and foremost, the reason why I do this is because our so-called individuals who have positions and titles amongst Israel is purposely making the people sin. Diversity. Creating division with these man-made doctrines. So this is my only way. I don't have the funds to go travel to New York or go down to Cali or go down to any other parts where the camps are and things like that to go speak on it. But guess what I got? I got this. And I know people be watching in the camps, be watching this and things like that. But my whole thing, my prayer is for y'all so-called men with titles in the camps. I pray that you watch this. And I pray that you guys sit here and stop doing the things that you've been doing that the Bible completely goes against. Because now you created a whole thing. You might as well call yourself Christian Israelites again. And you have these people who willingly want to feel good and do that. But a lot of y'all play on their innocence and things. Because they know they came out to the church, so they still have that same stuff of that same mentality in Christianity, just coming in out, know I'm Israel, that we the real people of the book and stuff. And they still do the same tendency, and you played on that. And I know some of y'all that still played on that. Till this day. And still, our people don't read those laws. If they actually read the laws, there wouldn't have been no debates going out here. There wouldn't be no man-made doctrines. Okay? But anyways, read verse 15 again, Aki.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And when you bring these laws out, whether it's Messianic or non-Messianic, whatever, when you bring these laws out, I hear the biggest excuses ever. Why not to follow that? Why we in this? We in captivity. This, that, and the other. You create your own captivity. You create your own curses. You create your own hell that comes on to you. Because the Father allows that to happen because you are not self-reflected on self and onto the Most High with his word. He said, don't do it. Dang it, don't do it. But wait. But this, but that. No excuses. Just don't do it. Christ said this, healed them. He said, sin no more. He didn't ask you for, thank you for healing me and stuff, but I have to, nah. Sin no more. Transgress the laws no more. So, to you brothers out there, teach those laws. You are set up as a watchman to do these things. And sisters who do have these laws and things, you could bring it forth. I'm not telling you to create a congregation and do billions of videos and things like, no, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you know the laws, and to people who are unlearned and don't know it, and they haven't ran into brothers that know these things, and you know it, of course you're supposed to help them out. But I'm not telling you to stand on the pulpit and bring billions and billions of congregations together under you with things. No, it's not what I'm saying. So for simple brothers out there, like, man, yo, he tried to tell. Come on, man. Anyways,
there's a lot of simplicity out there.
Right. You know, so
too much.
Now you taught the people blessings and curses. Now they know that why they have these curses on them and things. Now they can do themselves to change those. They could sit there and do, you know, keep these laws, statute, commandments to get these curses lifted off them, because now they know all these things. This is the whole duty of men. This is what I'm supposed to be doing nonstop. Now I got wisdom, I got knowledge, I got wisdom and understanding of my heavenly Abba through his Son and the Holy Spirit. I have his will, which is his word, which is the law, statute, and commandments. Now I know, I understand and recognize my sins. Now I could go out here and go help my own people. Now I could go blow the trumpet. Now I could judge righteously and help my brethren out there, my neighbors, to get themselves out of the condition that they're in too. Which means the second greatest commandment, love thy neighbor as thyself. That's the order. Not my order. Not because I brought it out, that we brought it out this way. It's because the Most High wants us to do this. But let's go. I'm gonna show you guys something. Go to Matthew 4 and read verse 1 through 11. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about, because one last thing before we get off here, because we only got 4 minutes. Because like I said, I'm keeping the lessons an hour, at least an hour. Because if I go above more than an hour or an hour and a half, people start losing.
It's like goldfish.
Yeah, you guys just start losing interest. I don't want to say interest, but yeah, you know, the attention span. You know, yeah. We've been drugged up with so much stuff throughout our whole years. Our attention span is not that great. So that's the reason why I only do hour lessons and things. But anyways, this is what I want to show you for this last part. But there will be a part 2 to this, because we're not done with this, okay? Matthew chapter 4 and verse 1 through 11.
All right. Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, I love this one, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him and said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made of bread. But he answered, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
See, Christ went to the law. He went right back to the law. Deuteronomy 8 and 3. He went to the law. That's a precept. He's going back to the law. Because why? Christ is real. Of course, he's well seasoned, because he's the one that gave the laws to Moses that was given by the Father. Okay? So, once again, this is not God's laws and then these are Moses' laws. No. It's all the Most High's laws in order that was given in that order. Who's the head of man? Christ. Who's the head of Christ? The Father. Chain reaction. Order, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Chain of command.
Chain of command. There you go. The water. So right there, he's going back to the law. These are the principles that you need to be doing as a watchman, dealing with the whole duty of men. But go ahead, keep reading.
Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Now, keep reading. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jesus said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
Now, check this. Satan was speaking the truth. He went to the Tanakh. You see that? He went to the prophets. He went to Psalms, the songs of David and stuff. It says, Psalms 91, verse 12. Verse 11. It says, For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. So you see what Satan does? This is a lot of mistake that Israel does amongst the camps and things like that, or anybody has seen the teachings of camps. They do the same thing. They call that a precept. That is not a precept. Christ just taught you what not to do according to what Satan does. Satan is bringing out everything in the scriptures except the law. You see that? Read that one more time, Mike.
And the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Jesus said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
What law is that? Deuteronomy 6:16. That's the law where it says, Thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy God. You see that? Christ went above what the prophets said, above what the songs of David said. He went back to the law. And then Satan tried to be sneaky with it, like thinking Christ was some dang fool. Like, dude, he says, oh, as it is written, if thou cast thyself down, you know what I'm saying, you have charge over your angels that shall lift you up unless at any time you dash your foot against a stone. Nah, man. And this is exactly what happens in Israel. Exactly. Mm-hmm. But let's keep reading though.
Law. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Jesus unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
And what law is that one? The first commandment. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Christ kept going to the law. So when you individuals out there, whoever I talk to and come in contact with, or brothers and sisters that watch this and things like that, I'm telling you right now, anything that you say to me, when I hear certain things, I'm going to hear a doctrine. And if I hear a doctrine, a man-made doctrine, I'm going straight to the law. I'm going to say, what law says that? Where is it in the law? Because if it's not written in the law, then there's no sin or judgment for that law, because there is no law. But if you're adding stuff on and things like that, like it was written there, you are a liar. Mm-hmm. And you are causing more corruption. And you are not sounding the trumpet. It's a false trumpet. And you people who are following that and believing in that, you think you're doing the whole duty of men according to the Most High, but you're doing it only for that man. You ain't doing it for the Most High, not according to what he says.
Road to hell is paved with good intentions, right?
Man, I'm telling you, man. Smooth sayings and things like that. You fall for it. That's why I have no tolerance for that stuff. And people are like, but he said, and I've had individuals hang the phone up on me because I went to the law. Are you serious? See? This is the problem amongst Israel. I'm want to do the whole duty of what the Most High wanted to do according to give on to man, not according to myself. God. So once again, if you don't like what the laws say and you don't want to teach the laws and you're so in depth with what that man has taught you and said, then dude, you are lost. You are lost. You have a false sense of light. Like they said, Satan was Lucifer was the light bearer. He was one of the most beautiful angels who was made out of precious stones and fire, and who was the best singer in the whole world. Who used to sing on to the Most High, who was the Most High's right-hand man. Some say, well, where are you getting this from? I've read other books and things like that too, okay? So, anyways, but this is the whole thing where I'm trying to get at. You guys you cannot be led by these men that's not giving you no laws. You guys have to read those for yourself. Heck, don't even watch me or whatever. All I'm asking is just read the laws. When you read the laws, everything will come clear to you. You'll be like reborn again from Israelite doctrines, man-made doctrines. You came out of the Christianity man-made doctrines. Now you coming out of Israelite man-made doctrines. Now you see things clearly for what they are and not what they appear to be. Something I learned a long time ago when I was a 5%er. But anyways, I'm not holding no creed to that, you know what I'm saying? The guys in there. Anyways, I'll maybe talk about that later or something like that. But anyways, there's going to be a part 2 to this. So for right now, I hope, my passion didn't get to you guys and try to make me sound like I'm Mr. Stuck Up or arrogant or Mr. Know-It-All and things like that. Because like I said, once again, I don't know everything. I'm not God. I'm not Christ. I'm not Solomon. You okay? I don't know everything. I just know what I study in this book. That's it. And if anything, if you feel that maybe if you label me being arrogant and stuff like that, no. Don't mix up arrogant with being as bold as a lion. Standing the ground and not being respecter of person when bull crap comes to my ears or to my attention. Or standing in front of me that's trying to contradict the laws of the Most High God to turn people away and corrupt everybody, including self. Don't do that with me.
The word is perfect.
And if whatever I'm teaching out here, I'm teaching it so you do the same thing as well. Men and women and children, if you're on here. So, anyways, much love to y'all, Yasha in the world. Seriously, I do mean in peace. I do really want you guys. This is real love. It may sound tough love to you, but it's love one way or another. And I appreciate if you guys do watch this and turn from that stuff and do come back on to the Most High and start teaching it. For you so-called elders, deacons and bishops, soldiers, captains, generals in Israel. And you guys know who I'm talking about. Priests. You know who I'm talking about. If you guys is watching this, please, man, change your ways and start teaching all those laws. And follow what the law says, not what happened back in 1 West. Change, man. That's repentance. All right? So, anyways, I'm Brother Ezekiel and Akwats.
I'm Brother Lee.
And we saying shalom to y'all.
Shalom.